Hi, everybody. So nobody wants to compete on an even playing field, right? So how do you tilt the playing field in your favor? You want to have something that you know that nobody else knows. So I worked on Google BigQuery for a long time, from $0 to $1 billion in revenue. And one of the things we noticed was that most people don't actually have large amounts of data, even though it's BigQuery. Most people who do have large amounts of data don't use most of it. So, big data is not really as big of a deal as people thought it was. There's also some like changes in the computing landscape that people haven't really come to terms with as well. And then finally, everybody likes ducks. And to prove that, who here likes ducks? Pretty much everybody, and everybody who didn't raise their hand is probably just too cool to raise their hand. But so what do we want to do about it? Well, so first of all, if big data is not as important as we thought, well, what actually is important is making things actually easier to use. And how do you do that? Well, okay, if laptops are super powerful, we can actually move workloads down to your laptop. If servers are giant, we don't have to split computation up across multiple machines. We can actually use really large scale up processes. And finally, if everybody likes ducks, we can use DuckDB, which is this amazing open source analytics database that was created by some folks in Amsterdam and is really taking the data world by storm. They did like 2 million downloads in the last month. And DuckDB runs everywhere. So it can run locally, it can run in your browser, it can run and on giant servers. So we're running DuckDB everywhere. We're running a serverless version in the cloud, and we're also running it locally on your machine in WASM, and we're connecting those together. So we have a partnership with the core DuckDB team, and so we have distribution inside DuckDB. So when you are using DuckDB, no matter where it is, we can, if you change the name of the database, it just starts talking to our web service. So we have this really seamless integration. So what makes us unique? I mentioned we're running locally and in the cloud, and we have this sort of hybrid system that splits the query plan apart and runs part of it locally, part of it in the cloud, and we can push predicates across, we can push data across. Just a couple of things I want to mention on this slide. One is we've raised over $100 million with zero revenue, and so that's an interesting puzzle to figure out how to do that. And the other one to mention is, this picture is from our offsite last week, which was in the west of the Netherlands. We ran out of Kassel. We biked to the North Sea. That's kind of fun for some people. We're also really big on company values. So one of the first ones is flexibility. We didn't intend on announcing our Series B today. We intended on announcing it in a week. We had a product launch all put together, but it leaked, and then it leaked again. And so we realized we had to do it. So we revamped the product and launched it today. And I think we had a pretty exciting and successful launch. Thoughtfulness. When we started, we gave the DuckDB team a co-founder share of the company because it was the right thing to do. But we also that's turned into a strategic business success because of the distribution that we got through them, the exclusive relationship we have with that really breakout open source project. And finally, unorthodox. We like to do things a little bit differently, both in how we build the architecture and then how we also everything is Duck related, which is not the usual in databases. So what we're looking for, great engineers kind of on all fronts. Use UI and UX is really important because some of the things that we can do with how we're building it is we can build video game style interfaces, 60 frames per second. You drag a slider and it recalculates all of your dashboards because we're pushing work down to the client. But we also need really great backend engineers who can build this serverless system that can do failovers, et cetera. And finally, thank you.
All right, Jordan, thank you very much. You cannot miss him in that duck shirt.